Roundup needing teachers, but anyway, they told her that if she would come to Roundup and teach, that they'd provide this little, it was a brand new little house. It wasn't very big, you know, just a small house, but they'd provide this place to live if she'd moved to Roundup, because Roundup was kind of booming back then anyway. It was kind of hard to find places to live, because the oil fields, the coal mines were all still running, and the oil fields were really just getting going in Roundup. So she took that job, and then we lived in that house for a year, and then my folks decided to build a house. So we built a little house, probably 1,000 square feet. But in them days, that was considered a fairly big house, you know. Not like now, where everybody lives in 1,800 square foot.
Yeah.
So we lived in there for, well, we actually lived in that house till I went in the Army, pretty much.
So in Roundup, you went to junior high there, and then you went to high school?
Yeah.
In high school, how's your high school experience?
Well, it was a lot of fun.
Was it?
My grades left a lot to be desired.
Really?
Yeah, I was not a very good student. I was kind of a renegade, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't want you to take after me, let's put it that way.
Well, you meet a lot of good friends down in Roundup?
Oh yeah, Roundup was a good town.
Really?
A good town, you know, all the coal mines were still running, and all those old timers, you know, they all made their own booze. They made whiskey and wine, and of course, us kids weren't above swiping a little out of the barrel, you know.
Yeah.
All those, down what they used to call Camp 3 and Klein Mine, all those people came from the old country, and all their parents had all made wine, whiskey, and they did that all, even during Prohibition, they'd make, well, they could legally make some, you couldn't sell it, but they'd make a lot of wine and stuff, you know. And of course, everybody smoked. In those days, it was a lot different. Nobody realized that smoke could kill you back then. All those people that worked in the mines, they all smoked, and of course, all the kids grow up, they start smoking too. You know? Roundup was a very exciting town. You wouldn't, to see it now, you wouldn't believe it, but it was really exciting town.
Yeah.
A lot of fun town to grow up in. But it was, there was always stuff going on.
So what were some of the best things in Roundup that you remember?
Well, I don't know if I should tell you. Because most of the stuff we did was stuff that kids shouldn't do.
Oh no.
Smoke, cigarettes. And
so
drag race cars.
Drag race?
Oh man, we loved that.
Where'd you guys drag race at?
Well, I shouldn't tell you that either, but it was on public highways. We had a drag strip marked out on the highway north of Roundup. Of course, the traffic wasn't very heavy back then. I mean, if you did it at night, you could go out there and you know, there weren't that many cars on the road, so you could go out on drag race right on the highway, and 9 times out of 10, no cars would even be going by, you know. And if somebody, you know, you could see your cars were coming, you'd pull off the road. But we raced did a lot of racing cars.
Who had the fastest car that you remember?
Well, I did for a while.
Really?
Yeah. I had a couple pretty fast cars.
What kind of car did you have?
Well, I had a 57 Chevy, I had a 1957 Chevy, and then later on I had a 1959 Chevy with a tri-carb, which they don't make them anymore either, but it was fast, pretty fast cars. Some of my friends had some pretty fast ones too, yeah.
What was your favorite car that you ever owned?
Oh boy. I don't know, actually the one that stayed the most popular the longest was 57 Chevy, but
Really?
I was when I was in high school, that was, you know, I was out of high school before I could even buy one of them. When I was in high school, you mostly drove old clunkers, you know. They weren't fast, most of them were kind of junkers, but.
So in high school, is that where you met Grandma?
Well, no, I actually knew her from before. I used to run around with her buddy, and of course she was with her brother, I should have said. But she was about 3 years younger than me, and then when you're like 16 and the girl's only like 12 or 13, you know, when you're in school there. I thought she was a kind of a brat then, spoiled, because her folks let her buy her everything. So I knew her, but it wasn't like girlfriend thing. You
Yeah.
know?
So wait, you used to hang out with Uncle Kenny, or who'd you hang out with?
No, her brother Kenny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So mom,
Well,
Yeah.
some, we weren't really close buddies, but
you just
you know, in the same town you hang
Hang out
together some.
yeah.
Yeah. And they lived pretty close to one of my best friends in Roundup, so you'd have like ball games and make-up ball games and stuff, baseball, stuff like that. And all the kids from the east side used to kind of make up teams and play kids from the west side, stuff like that, you know. So he'd be on the same kind of teams and stuff. So,
But in high school, what kind of jobs did you have?
I still worked in the gas station.
Gas
mostly,
station?
Yeah, I had to work to keep my cars going. You know.
Yeah.
Full-time job just to keep them dumb junkers running.
What about the old movie theater?
Oh, I worked there too. I
Yeah?
worked at the movie theater. My first job in the movie theater was hauling out the ashes from the furnace and filling the what they call the coal stoker.
Uh-huh.
And that's another thing of the past, I guess. I don't think those are around anymore. But what it is, it's just a big bin that has an auger, feeds coal into a boiler. So I had to empty the ashes. That was my first job. I had to haul the ashes out. Well, I had to take them out of the furnace every night and put them in they had big old like garbage cans, tin cans. Then Saturday morning I'd go down there all cool by then and take them out and dump them out in the alley. I got 50 cents a week and I could go to the movies free. That was my first job there.
Did they show pretty good movies back then?
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
good movies, you know. Of course, in them days, kids went to movies every Saturday and watched Roy Rogers, Gene Autry, stuff like that. You know, in every movie they were all the same, but you know, you didn't care. You always knew Roy Rogers would win, or Gene Autry, they'd win in the end. You know, they always caught the bad guys, put them in jail. So, but you knew they were in some real trouble in between. There's had to chase them, you know, to catch them. Good movies though.
So how strict were your parents when you were in Roundup?
They were,
On the
my
strict
parents
route?
were strict. I don't even know if they knew where I was.
As long as you came back for dinner?
Yeah, that's all I cared about was if I showed up sometime before morning. No, I wasn't quite that bad. But when I was in school, I probably had to be home by 10 night or something, I guess. But
So in high school,
at first we didn't have TV though, so you didn't have nothing to do. If you stayed home at night, and I didn't like to study, so you know how that went.
so in high school, is that where you started getting into music, like choir and stuff
Yeah, I
like
stayed in, that was probably what I did most time. I was in a band. I started playing on a cornet. I played a cornet for a year, and then music teacher said, I was in the 7th grade, and in the 8th grade, my music teacher said, did you ever think about playing a baritone? And I said, no, I like cornet. And she says, well, if you'd switch to baritone, I'll put you in the high school band. Oh, wow. So I did. I switched to baritone, and I played baritone for about 5 years. And I liked it. And then after I got in high school, I was in a lot of special musical groups. We had the pep band, and we had a group, the mixed chorus, sang in the mixed chorus, and then for a while we had a boys chorus, and I sang in a group called the Coraliers. 16 of us that we won a Superior rating at State Music Festival. You can believe that. So that was probably about one of my few accomplishments that really was an accomplishment besides getting into trouble. So, but we were pretty good. I'll say we did really well. And I got to be in an honor band with one of the guys that, he was one of the best band music arrangers in the country.
Who was this?
His name was Leroy Anderson.
Oh,
You probably heard some of his stuff. There was a song he had called Bugler's Holiday.
yeah.
He wrote some really neat arrangements for bands and instruments. And that was really fun. And I got to go to the All-State Music Festival with the mixed chorus a couple of years, and with band 1 or 2 years. You could only go in one event. So one year I went as band member, unless it was a small group, you could go in a big group. I went in the mixed chorus into Choral Airs at the same year, and that was at State Music Festival in Missoula. We had a really good, because we had a real good music department. We had a really great music teacher, band teacher.
Who was your teacher?
His name was Bob Johnson.
Bob Johnson?
Yeah, and I think I just learned just a year or so ago that he died. He lived to be a really old. He was
wow.
really good music
Did
teacher.
he live in Roundup as well?
Yeah, he lived, well, he moved to Roundup just to teach music, you know. They brought him in as a music teacher.
So they did Roundup just bring in a whole bunch of teachers just because they were low on teachers? Or
I don't know.
huh?
I don't know how they ever got this Bob Johnson, because he could have been, you know, he was really good. He really was. He could play every instrument, and he knew how to, you know, how to get through the kids, and the kids liked him. And he was also a pretty good artist. He'd do backdrops for our stage for our concerts and stuff, you know. He was really good. Very nice man too. So that's about the only thing I really took serious, to be honest with you, when I was in school.
Really?
I did enjoy the music thing. And I won awards for being in music too.
So in high school, who'd you chum around with? Who were some of your best?
Oh, Herb
Just pop.
Altman, and you knew Herb when I was young. Yeah, him and Don Lexi were about my two best friends. Hung around and got in trouble with them all the time. But they were both good guys. Don's still, Herbie died, of course. Don lives down Terry. Yeah, we palled around a lot together. Used to go swimming in the river all the time.
Really?
Yeah. Swimming the Musselshell River now seems impossible. We did. We used to go there all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you guys ever get in trouble from it? Like,
no, nobody cared.
No one cared at that time?
Yeah. It was really, an odd thing was that, you know, before polio vaccine came out, you know, that was a big scary thing, polio. And everybody said, well, you gotta be careful going swimming, and you gotta do this, and you shouldn't go swimming in places that aren't treated with chlorine and all this. Well, all us kids that swam in the river, none of us ever caught polio, and the two people in Roundup I knew that did never swim in the river both had polio. The only two people I ever knew in Roundup that had polio. Yeah, neither one of them would go and swim in the river. So I don't know what that tells you, but I always thought that was kind of strange.
Really?
You know? Yeah, that's only two kids in Roundup that ever got polio. One was a boy and one was a girl. So.
So what year did you graduate?
1956.
1956 is when you graduated?
Yep.
When did you end up doing after that?
Well, let's see. I worked at my dad's gas station again. Or yet. I worked there pretty much all the time. I worked there until in 1957 I went to work for a seismograph crew, which are their outfit. They look for oil. They had a way of looking for oil that I don't think they use it anymore, but basically it causes a small earthquake. You drill holes in the ground, set off dynamite charges, and they put out these little sensors, they call them geophones, that picks up the ground move. It shows the geologist could look and see if there's an oil formation there. So I worked for them for a while, and then I ended up, he had left town, and I didn't wanna leave